Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the BMW X7. This is the xDrive30d. This car comes courtesy of Shijay to me, and straight away we are going to be opening the engine bay. It's as easy as... yeah, that's how easy it is. Okay, it's a little difficult. Anyways, you get gas struts. There is the engine. It says twin power turbo. You get strut braces here. This is where the washer fluid goes. There's insulation and you can hear a bit of the diesel engine, of course. Let's just shut this. It gets this massive BMW grille, which by the way opens and closes. Yes, it's a dynamic grille. Massive BMW logo. Very slim lights here. These are all LEDs. These are laser lights. They can project up to 600 meters. Indicator here. This is a DRL and projector setup. Sort of. No, yes, whatever. Anyways, that's not important. What's important is that the LCI has come, which is the Life Cycle Impulse facelift, which has even slimmer lights, and I honestly do not like it. It also has a grille which illuminates. Here you can option it. There it's standard on higher variants, of course. And parking sensors, towing hook, front camera right here. And this car is huge. Okay, right now the ground clearance is raised. So the standard ground clearance happens to be 221 mm. You can raise it by 40 mm using the display key, which I've not got at the moment, but that will take it to 261 mm, which is absolutely crazy. Now this car is more than 5.1 meters long. 5151 mm is the length. Wheelbase is more than 3.1 meters. It's 2 meters wide. However, its chief rival, the Mercedes GLS, is longer, wider, taller, with a longer wheelbase and more weight as well, but lower ground clearance. However, this car is huge. Tire size 21 inches here. You can see those vents are very much functional. So air is pushed from here to cool the brakes, I believe. Anyways, the tire size is 275 45 21s. You can option 22s, but with the LCI, you can get 23-inch wheels as well, which is not surprising considering the RSQ8 comes with 23-inch wheels as standard. Air suspension with adaptive dampers. Again, it's not functional. Fake stuff. What are you doing, BMW? There's a camera here, and it looks absolutely mad because look at the size. This car is just something else in terms of dimensions. You've got some crazy bits. First and foremost, roof rails are huge. And oh my god, how many sunroofs does it have? That is the shark fin antenna. Again, slim lights here. xDrive30d written right there. Faisal Khan's fingers of truth, always scared of BMW exhaust because they are real. And they also have this outline. Rear parking sensors. Towing hook. This is the fog light. And the indicator does not get any dynamic function. There is the camera. Rear wiper. High mounted stop lamp. Roof spoiler. X7 written there. Some amount of chrome. Okay, somebody has hit it here, unfortunately. And below here, you can see the underbody. So anyways, let's do one thing. Let's straight away open the boot. I press a button and there it opens. Now it's obviously a power tailgate. Split one, press this button, there it opens. Now if I press this button, the ride height will actually decrease. So there, I'm not sure if you can see it, but whatever. It decreases the ride height. It is actually decreasing it. I'm not sure you can see it in the camera, but probably it's waiting for Christmas to happen. No, it is doing it at the front first, and now at the rear, it is putting the ride height down. So that's easier to put in stuff. I'm not too sure how much of an impact such things make, but anyways, it's good to have, good to know. This is the parcel shelf here. Okay, 12 volt charging socket. And if I want to recline all the seats, I can do everything electrically. So a lot of buttons here. So I want to go maximum bag. I press this button and there you will see all the seats will now recline, even the center row. And you can individually and independently operate all these seats if you so wish. But these are the controls for the same. So here you can operate the second row and the third row, and you can put them up or down. Now the boot carrying capacity is massive. Otherwise, it's also big enough at 328 liters. Here I press this button. There I can move this seat. Yeah, can you see the seat is actually moving? So you have a lot of control, which is just fantastic. I press these buttons. There, the seats are going ahead so that there's enough room for this seat to come up. And there it comes up. Only thing is you have to manually put the headrest up. Kind of cool. Press this button. There shuts the power tailgate. Okay. Now let's get inside. Firstly, let's get to the rear row. What am I saying? Rear row. That was not easy for me. Anyways, I pull this lever like this. As soon as I do that, this seat will move ahead first, and then this seat will move ahead so that I can get inside. But it's so slow. It's so slow that I don't even know why is it taking so much time. But I will use this button there. I'll actually open the sun blind on the top. I'll use this button as well to open the sun blind at the rear as well. Yes, there's a rear sunroof. There's a panoramic roof here, massive panoramic roof. So it's got like plenty. And then obviously I can put the sun blind up here. Lot of sun blinds. Everything is electric. The seats are electric. Getting in and out is not the easiest, but here we are. Isofix child seat mounts. proper headrest, light placement here on the top, and I can press this button to operate this particular sun blind. So last row passengers get a lot of control. Height adjustable seat belts in the second row. There is none in the first row, which is surprising. Okay, ambient lighting here. There's a cup holder, and you can actually operate the seats from these buttons as well. So you can put the seats down from here, the last row of seats. Okay, is it having a wireless charging pad or something? Because okay, it has a USB charging socket and a hook here. Last row of seating is not that great in terms of under thigh support, but headroom seems adequate and seats are comfortable enough. If I take the seat back, what will happen? Well, there it's coming back, and then I don't think legroom and knee room is enough. It's got plenty of airbags, of course. AC vent is placed here. It says airbag here. It says airbag here. It says airbag everywhere. And no, just stop. Give me some space. There is none here. So it's not very comfortable in the last row. The case with most of these cars. You cannot get in from here. That's just not happening. I'll just push it like this. This will go ahead, and so I can get out. But first, that seat will go ahead. So in spite of the long wheelbase, there's some challenge still, because obviously the engine bay takes a lot of space. Now this is air conditioning. And you won't believe it, it has actually got 5 zone climate control air conditioning. Yeah, that's right, 5 freaking zones, because 2 zones here, 2 at the front. Absolutely insane. Let's get out from here. And beautiful leather treatment, of course. So I'm just going to push the seat back. Now you can get it in 6-seater, which is this one, and a 7-seater option as well. And you can control the seats from here. So obviously all the seats are electrically adjustable. So it's obviously going on its own. Why do I have to even do anything? That one is coming behind. Let's just push this seat as much behind as possible to increase the leg room. Okay, this seat has come ahead quite a lot. And then there's a screen here. This is a 10.2 inch screen, which is on a vacation because it's not starting at the moment. Neither is this screen, so maybe it's turned off from somewhere, although the car is turned on. So 50,000 kilometer done BMW, screen has gone for a vacation. Anyways, 2 zones for the climate control here. You get a USB-C, 2 USB-Cs, HDMI, 2 auxes as well for that screen, which I was just showing you. Air conditioning here. We're just going to shut this for a moment. 2 USB-C charging sockets, a 12 volt charging. No, this is a cigarette lighter, and a beautiful BMW ashtray as well. In fact, you've got 2 cup holders. Says X7 here, just in case you forget which car you are in. Okay, there the screen turns on. So it was taking its own sweet time, eating bhav and all that stuff. Now you can see you can do various stuff here, display lighting, all that stuff. So yes, it's the usual BMW UI which you see in a lot of BMW cars, and so is the dashboard. It's a very familiar dashboard which you have seen in a lot of BMW cars. Now if you notice one thing, the roof has these dots because it is the Sky Lounge, so ambient light colors also come on the roof. There's a hook right here. I don't know why there's no height adjustable seat belts for the front, but they are there for the rear passenger. Second row, light placement there, kind of weird. Anyways, middle row space is actually good. Only thing is the seats are a bit too reclined right now. Now the thing is, obviously it's a flagship SUV from BMW, so soft closed doors, they pull this thing back inside. Now let's get to the front. Usual BMW stuff, nothing different as such. Now you see I have actually put the ride height down, so there is no space between the body and the wheel, of course. And you've got a multitude of adjustments here. All I'll do is press this button here. You see the seat is moving, the steering is moving. So memory seats and memory steering wheel as well. You can save up to 2 people's setting if you so wish. Seats are very nice and comfortable. You got the dead pedal, light controls are placed here. Door pockets are actually big enough. Beautiful like switches. Switch gear is very nice. This is to open the boot of the vehicle, which you'll accidentally hit while driving the car, probably when you're trying to operate and adjust the outside rear view mirrors. There are 2 buttons here for rear. What is this? Well, you can actually move the rear seat by pressing this button, so the driver can also have some fun. So here, if I press this button, there you see the seat is actually moving ahead, so you can move the seat ahead and behind. Oh my god, this is such a game. Anyways, first and foremost, let's turn this off. It says backrest lock. Do I care? No. Anyways, let me turn off the lights completely. Here we go. Steering wheel is the usual BMW affair. You get paddle shifters. These are the various controls for audio system, voice commands and all. These are for the cruise control system, and this is for the indicators, of course. Automatic wipers, automatic headlights, getting confused, and Lotto spray on offer does a great job. Here you obviously get a mirror and light. Same is the case here as well. You get a mirror as well as a light, and this this thing has actually come out, which is a bit of a bummer. Oopsie doopsie doo. I didn't do that. Oh, okay, it's so big now I have to really stretch. We shall fix it. Anyways, here you see, okay, under thigh support is never an issue because I can actually extend it all the way. This is very boring. Okay, with the LCI, they have actually changed all this with the new BMW system, which is there in the latest BMW cars, bigger screens and better graphics. This, reverse one doesn't look that awesome. Anyways, the good thing is you can actually change the colors by changing the drive mode, and I think it shows the car color which you are driving. Of course, let me turn off the air conditioning. You see 2 zones are here as well, and obviously it gets the same old system which you have seen in so many BMW cars. So I'm just going to get into the car function, and then you can see plenty of information. Okay, here, yeah, there you see, awesome energy flow is there and whatnot. By the way, it's got hybrid in the LCI now, so X view is also there, which is kind of cool. It's actually nothing different from what we have seen earlier. It's the very same thing. However, I want to get into the ambient light colors, which means I get into settings and then I get into the lights. Okay, interior lighting and ambient light colors. Okay, let me see how many colors are there. Well, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, okay, 11 colors are there. And here in the roof, maybe you will not be able to see it now, but in the night you can obviously see it. Here there is some lights, obviously usual bits. Let's open the sunroof, and it opens decently big, although this panel does not move at all. Yeah, that's about it. Kind of big, kind of nice. You got microphone treatment here, handle to hold on to right there. Quality is actually quite good. The horn is also the typical BMW horn. There's some storage space here with a lot of stuff actually. Then these are heated and cooled as well, and yeah, see, red and blue depending on you do heating or cooling. That's not all. You get a cigarette lighter here. There's a wireless charging pad whose position is very bad. USB socket right there. These are controls for the audio system, air conditioning controls here. This is a 12.3 inch screen. This is a 12.3 inch screen. Let's get into reverse. This is the reverse parking camera, which has obviously got adaptive guidelines, and it's also got a bird's eye view, which is quite cool. And then it also has something known as reversing assistant. So here you're just going to open this. Khul ja bhai, 3D view. So this is fantastic, something which you have seen in a lot of BMW cars. So it's not even like, oh my MG, I'm seeing it for the first time, so it's like wow. It's actually quite nice. And that's not all. You've got reversing assistant, wherein I'm going to go into reverse. Here we are. Okay, handbrakes down, and then okay, we are going against gravity or what? So here we go. We were going too fast. But basically what happens with reversing assistant, if I actually decide that okay, I'm going to twirl the steering wheel and maybe go like this and here and there and that, blah blah blah. Now when I get into reverse now, see, I get into reverse, I turn on reversing assistant, and it will replicate my maneuvers which I was doing frontward. So here you go, see, automatically steering wheel twirl and all that stuff. That's not important. So you've got 360-degree camera, you've got all that. Let's get into parking. Beautiful iDrive controller. This is the crystal gear lever with X written in it. Electric parking brake, lot of buttons here. These are actually for the drive mode selector. The usual bits, like there's nothing new I have to talk about because the X7 is like very similar to the X5. It's not like a bigger X5. It has its own freaking identity. Let me show you this awesomely matte tire. The rear tires are 315 40/21, super overkill. Look at the size of the tires. Isn't that insane? This is like supercar level size tire. And here is where the fuel goes. You can add AdBlue here directly if you so wish. Let's go now. Alright, we're all set to go, which means turning on the car. Yeah, some warning sound. Backrest lock, it's always behind that. Anyways, straight away, first let's get into the menu, which is driving information. Or I can just say, hey BMW, sport displays.
Sport displays.
Thank you so much. We get into drive mode. We get into sport mode straight away. You can see something's changed here or there. And we are going to turn off traction control. Not that it matters. So traction control sport, we keep it pressed. Then it will completely turn off. Yeah, DSC off. And okay, handbrake down. And let's get going. The thing is, I'm going to take a U-turn, first things first, and let me tell you, in spite of the size of this car, it just doesn't feel that heavy. It doesn't feel that heavy to drive. You can see the steering is so light. The action of the steering is like super duper light. There's no effort in that regard. It's just effortless. Amazing. So here, U-turn done and dusted, and off we go. Oh, it's so punchy, and now we're going to encounter a real bad patch of road, which means that I will actually increase the ride height of the vehicle. Yeah, it can increase by around 40 mm, and it's set to rise right now. Beautiful displays, they're so crisp, it looks amazing. And I think we are on the high setting of the ride height, which will automatically decrease once I actually speed up. So that's kind of nice. Obviously, I think the tires have gone for a bit of a toss. So I'm planning to climb from here itself. So we are just going to take it a full lock. Oh my god, it's such an effortless car to drive. in spite of its size, you don't feel like you're driving something which is so big. It's like a beast, honestly, this X7. Now, this car is powered by a 3-liter straight-six motor, which is of course a diesel 6-cylinder, which is producing not much power as such, because obviously there are much more powerful variants of this car. So the base is actually the 40i, and that is priced at roughly around 1.41 crores for the 40i. This is the 30d, which is priced at 1.43 crores on road Mumbai. And then obviously there's also something known as the 50 Jare edition, which is 50 years anniversary of BMW M edition, which was launched in India after the LCI was launched globally. That kind of sounds weird, but it is what it is. So that is also priced around 1.43 crores or something of that sort. Now, thing is that you're having such a commanding driving position. Ride height is decreasing right now. Performance is very smooth and linear, and that is the speed alarm for 80 kilometers per hour. It really pulls nice and strong. The horn is ineffective because an Innova never stops. Anyways, I'm putting my head down wondering that will that thing actually hinder, but it will not. So I love the fact that the whole car is so easy to drive. Body roll is very well contained, and in spite of the light steering, my goodness, it offers good amount of feel and feedback. This is a fun car to drive. It has that athletic feel of an X5. Only thing is, it's just bigger, it's just heavier. 2,500 kgs is the weight of this car. Now this 3-liter straight-six motor is actually producing 265 horsepower, which comes in at 4,000 RPM. The result is 0 to 100 kilometers per hour comes up in 7 seconds, which is decently quick. And then it produces 620 Newton meters of torque, which comes in at 1500 RPM and stays there till 2500 RPM, and that's the reason it has got good low end grunt. So performance slowdown is nice. It's actually very linear. It's an engine which loves to rev. So this is a fantastic diesel engine, very refined, very smooth. And then obviously when you feel the need for speed, it will give you that as well. So it's just lovely the way this engine performs. Very refined, smooth and punchy as well. In fact, it likes to go all the way till it's red line too, which means that we should actually get into manual mode. Here we are into manual mode. I'm actually going to downshift. Okay, I was upshifting. Here, downshift first gear. Here it holds to a red line of 5,500 RPM, which is unbelievable. And then you can use the paddle shifters as well, which are fantastic to use. Now this very same engine, I mean this engine has a single turbocharger, twin scroll and all that, but the same engine actually has 4 turbochargers, quad turbochargers. What are you talking about? Yes, the M50D is the one with the same 3-liter engine, but 4 turbochargers, 2 big turbochargers, 2 small turbochargers, giving an output of 400 bhp and a torque output of 760 Newton meters. Yes, it is supremely powerful, supremely punchy. In fact, it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.4 seconds. Yeah, it's unbelievably quick and unbelievably expensive also. That's priced around 2.15 crores on road Mumbai, which is like a premium of around 60 lakhs. But I think that's completely imported. This one is made in India, locally assembled via the CKD route. If you want to make a quick overtake, it's just a flex of your right foot and you are already gone. And that is the level of performance, punch and confidence this car gives you. Whenever you need that speed, it just is there, responds immediately, doesn't hesitate at all, and just goes fantastically well. The ride is very smooth and nice. Obviously everything is on the firmer side, the stiffer side. You don't really feel it unless and until you're on bad roads, and India has plenty of them for you to test all that. Ground clearance is obviously a non-issue. You will never worry about it. You can take it off-road if you so wish. xDrive system is also quite advanced, but since it's a monocoque chassis, you don't want to really take it off-road. The real highlight I feel is that the ease of driving the X7, because whenever I see one on the road, I immediately turn and look at it and I'm like, oh my god, this is so big, how does a person drive it? But when you sit here, you realize it's actually very easy to drive. It's supremely comfortable, it's luxurious, it gives you a fantastic view of what's around, and this engine is very punchy. It has the grunt, like you get on path throttle, response is so quick, it absolutely pulls ahead without any hesitation, and the steering weighs up well at high speed stability is also very nice, ride quality is good, body roll is well contained. It's a BMW at the end of the day, a big fat BMW SUV which stays true to what BMW is known for. Amazing dynamics, amazing ride handling, everything is just fantabulous here. I really like driving this car, and it picks up the pace in no time at all. Brakes are very strong. Look at the braking capability. So much confidence. You know why? Because I'll tell you, it's a very simple story. When BMW makes cars, it doesn't compromise on anything. No, neither does neither does Mercedes, of course, because the tire size is just obnoxious. The rear tire is 315, 40, 21, 315 is the rear size tire of some supercars. Yeah, that's right. It's so huge, and that's the reason you get so much grip. Why do you need such massive tires? Honestly, do you need them? Well, I'll tell you the real story. When I was driving the X6 in Germany, Italy and all that, and I should drive it like all day, 10-15 hours a day. I was driving that car. No, I had not enrolled into Uber, but I was driving the car for so long. I never felt tired because the car is very comfortable. Obviously, it's more on the sportier side, the X6. The other bit which really thrilled me was when I was driving the car at top speed, 238 km per hour on the Autobahn. That is the top speed of this BMW. Yes, it will not go any further. The level of grip and confidence it gives you, and that's where these big fat tires come into play. You really need big fat rubber because of the tire size. The grip levels are just unbelievable. It gives you so much confidence. It's kind of crazy. Now there are multiple drive modes on offer. There is Eco Pro, which is for efficient driving. There's Comfort for comfortable driving, because obviously it's got air suspension with adaptive dampers, and obviously you can raise the ride height if you so wish. The thing is that there is a Sport drive mode, which we are in right now, obviously. So yeah, Sport has an individual setting, so you can configure individual. Here, when I get into Eco Pro, you have an individual setting there as well, and there's something known as adaptive, which surprisingly works quite well. It's able to adapt to your requirements somehow. I don't know how it manages it, but it's able to identify and just manage things beautifully well. So what does it do? It adjusts the steering wheel, it adjusts the engine, the gearbox, it also adjusts the suspension. Obviously, that's the most important and crucial factor, because adaptive dampers and air suspension can be adjusted. Ride is really very smooth. It's unbelievably smooth a ride. And there, you want to take a quick U-turn, there is no freaking hesitation. A car this big, it just drives like a dream. What a car, the X7. Now the thing is, they've put hybrid with the LCI. That's the major change in the LCI, other than the fact they've put the screens similar to what we have seen on other BMW cars, the latest BMW cars, which start with the iX. All of them have the very same screen now. And the big difference is that actually gone ahead and put the hybrid system of 48 volt unit, which produces an additional 12 horsepower and 200 Newton meters. That's the boost it gives. So lesser emissions, better acceleration under heavy load, all that you definitely get with it. But that's the real benefit of the LCI. Otherwise, I really don't like the design. I think it's a bit weird. Not a bit, it's quite a bit weird. They could have done a better design. I don't know why BMW is going more Chinese in terms of design. Here, big bump, no problem. It just is so freaking comfortable, this car. Lovely. Okay, now we can experience the ambient light somehow, because we are in a tunnel. Everything else is so similar now. I just feel I'm driving an X5 or probably an X6 or probably an X3 or an X4. It's so freaking similar. Horn is nice and loud, and because you are like higher up and the bonnet is also high set, you can see the bonnet right now completely, which gives you a different feel while driving this car. So as I see it, BMW's flagship SUV stays true to being absolutely stunning. Here's the funny thing, okay, Mercedes calls the GLS the S-Class of SUVs, which I honestly feel it is not, because the S-Class is obviously one big, fat, massive level up. So being an SUV version of the S-Class is just impossible unless and until you offer that level of comfort. With this X7, it comes close to being the 7 Series equivalent of SUV, or SUV of 7 Series, whatever. You get the drift what I'm trying to tell you. So there it truly excels, and that's something to really look forward to. Now I can have manual control on the gearbox. Okay, like I told you completely, it's an 8-speed gearbox. It's very fast with shifts. It doesn't hesitate at all. It really gives you quick shifts. So in terms of engine options, the 40i is like the mainstream engine. A lot of people buy it because that is what is being sold in NCR region. This diesel engine is also fantastic. I think they have dropped 30D in lieu of 40D now globally. I'm not too sure about that. Maybe a X7M would be like really crazy and unnecessary as well, but who cares about that? Little bit of thuds when you go really fast over some bumps and all, but for the most part I have nothing to complain about. I really like this car. I think it's quite nice, and you guys have been pestering me right, left and center, X7 vlog, X7 vlog, X7 vlog. So here is the X7 vlog. So what are you seeing my face? Go hit that like button, leave a comment as well, because I was thinking that okay, now since the LCI has come, let me make a video on the LCI. Then BMW actually sent me an invite saying that we are looking forward to host you at the unveil of the X7, the LCI, and they were also doing the XM, the 3 Series facelift, and the S1000RR. And guess what? The next invite, the follow-up, had X7 missing in it, and then I was so disappointed. I was like, chuck it, let me go and drive this car immediately, and that's the reason we are here. Okay, nice and strong brakes, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, and off we go. First gear, it is actually shifting at 5000 rpm. Second gear, under 5000 rpm. If you do manual, 5500 rpm. What a diesel engine. Imagine when everything goes electric, you're going to cry because you're not going to get such a fab diesel engine ever again. BMW is making some really good diesel engines. And since the light is almost gone, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's the like button. Let's just get into this gully because why not, we can. And here we go. The engine also sounds good. It's like music to the ears. That's the kind of sound, the refinement and everything else in this engine. I really like it. And I think we've hit the wrong patch of road, which means it calls for an immediate U-turn. Again, taking a U-turn can be a bit cumbersome, but thankfully we have 1 million cameras here. Not 1 million cameras, more like 5-7 cameras. To be accurate, we have 4 cameras actually. And there obviously we get a bird's eye view, so it just makes everything so much easier to take a U-turn or anything of that sort. Ever imagine doing this in a car which is this sized? Now obviously I have actually driven the GLS, the 400D, from Mumbai to Hyderabad and back, and somehow this car just feels so much better in terms of holding the road. And in spite of it being more sporty, they have managed to nail the ride as well. That's where the GLS actually falters. The GLS doesn't have the best ride, neither does it have the best handling, although it has good amount of space and then obviously a towering presence. I think the X7 beats the GLS in almost every possible way by being better in almost every way possible. Here, hazard lights on, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, and off we go. I know I should have already shut the roll because I already said the vlog is over, but I just can't help but keep driving and talking about the X7. It's such a fab car. Bye-bye.